Hello, Eric Gimbal, ericgimbal.com, and as I promised when I did the unboxing of the Sandmarc lenses, I'm going to do the full review, tell you about the lenses and also about the filters, the polarizer and the ND filters. There are some very good things, very interesting things, and there are some really bad things that I think are frankly stupid. So I'm going to tell you more about it right now. Let's start. So I'm going to do two parts in, not two videos, two parts in the video. The first section I'm going to speak about the lenses, and the second about the filter system and the filters. I've got three lenses. So I will show you some video and pictures I've made with the lenses to give you an idea of quality. The first one is the macro lens. So macro is very easy. You just take it out. You must put it on the Tele Lens on your iPhone. And you also have a small diffuser. If you put it on, it will diffuse the light. As you can see, that's the way it works. Okay, so the macro lens, I think it's a great lens. The results are great, but it's not practical to use. It's not Sandmarc lens in this fault. I think any macro lens on a telephone are problematic because you need to be really close. It's a 10 times, so it's going to magnify 10 times your lens. You need to be really close. It means that sometimes if what you have to make you want to make a picture, it has to be almost within the diffuser. I'll show you a picture of Claudia making a picture there. See, she's using the clip because it's not an iPhone what she has, and it has to be so close, so sometimes it has to be in there. If it's hard to access what you want to make a picture of, then you have to remove the diffuser, and then maybe the light is a bit different. Okay, so the quality is great. The depth of field is really shallow because you have very close, very close, but the results are nice. It's quite hard to get the right focus point. It's not easy to be right on spot on focusing, so it's not an easy lens to use, but the results are brilliant. I would say as quality I would give a 10 out of 10, but as ease of use maybe I would put a 7 or even a 6, because it's 7, yeah, because it's very hard to really get to do it. It's to be right on it, it's not easy. I've not done any video with this macro, but maybe it would be possible, but you would need to be something that would be fixed. I mean, I think it would be very hard to follow even a small insect, you know, on video, because the distance must be really perfect. Okay, but for picture it's great. Now I'm going to show you another lens, which is the wide lens and the Tele Lens. So let's start with the wide lens, wide angle lens. So here it is. It's a big lens, quality is great, and you put it on your wide angle lens. Well, it depends what iPhone you have, or if you're using the clip with another camera, another telephone. If you have two cameras, select the wide angle one. As you can see, that's it. I'll take it. Okay. Now I'm to give you so you see the difference. I'm going to show you a video with nothing on the iPhone, the native wide angle, and then I put the wide angle on it, so you see the difference. So I'll show you. First, to take directly from my iPhone XS Max. No extra filter, no extra Sandmarc lens, nothing. Just as it comes, the wide angle lens of the iPhone. Now take with the Sandmarc wide lens. Mounted on the iPhone wide lens. So as you can see the difference of angle, this is equivalent of 0.56x so times. It means it's like on this iPhone, it's an iPhone on XS Max, it's like 16mm wide angle. This lens, I think in the corners is a bit soft, so I've not seen moment difference. I've heard they're a bit sharper. So on video I think you will not notice anything. On photo you may notice, but to me there was no problem. It obviously has a hyper wide angle. It does make a bit of distortion, not too much. You really need to be at the right level if you don't want to distort too much, but that's a thing that happens with any hyper super wide angle lenses. And I think for video you will not notice that is not the corner a bit soft. On picture you may notice it, but it did not disturb me. It really depends on the kind of picture you're making. Now I'm going to show you the Tele Lens, which is this. I don't need to mount it. I show you the Tele Lens, okay? And now I'm going to show you an example with video, so you see the difference. And now I take with my iPhone XS Max Tele Lens directly, no extra filter, no extra lens from Sandmarc, nothing, just as it comes direct from factory. And now the Tele Lens by Sandmarc mounted on the Tele Lens of the iPhone. I had to reframe my shot because otherwise I was just pointing at the water. Well, I really love this Tele Lens. It's like a time 2. It means like I think the tele on the iPhone is 58 millimeters, so it will give like 100, something like this, 100 something. I have not done much portraits, but I've used it for other things like landscape and things like this, or to get things that are a bit far away, closer to me. And I think the sharpness is great. This is a really good lens. Yeah, I think of all the three, the one I prefer, or maybe that's the one that surprised me most. Why? Because telephone are always, smartphone are really wide angle, so to be able to get closer with the telephone was great to me. I would give a 10 out of 10, but Sandmarc needs to better. Like any makes, I'll put a 9. Usability, it's a 10. Quality, it's a 9, although probably a 10. By the way, the wide angle, I would say it's 10 usability, and quality, I would say 8.5, 9 because of these soft corners. Okay, so first part, conclusion about the lenses. The lenses are great. They cost half the price of moment lenses. I do think the quality, the optical quality is brilliant, and yes, I would recommend these lenses with no doubt. The quality is good. So now we're going to speak about the filters. So we're going to speak about two filters, well, two kinds. The first one is a polarizer. You screw it on your front lens, front thread filter thread, and as you can see, then you turn it to polarize the way you want. Okay, so now I'll show you a video so you see the difference with and without polarizing. Now on the wide angle I've put the polarizer, the Sandmarc wide angle. I've put the polarizer, so as you can see I'm turning it. You see my finger here, and as you can see the water gets less reflection, appears darker, the clouds also, and here if I put it here I see maximum reflection. I turn, and as you can see it goes darker. Okay, now I'm going to show you the ND filters. So why do you may need ND filters? Because when you make picture, actually you could use them to for long exposure. The thing is that anyway, on an iPhone the maximum time, even using an app, I think is 1 second, so it's really short anyway. I prefer to use an app that's called slow shutter, so I don't need any filter anyway. So you would actually need the ND filters for recording video. Why? Maybe you don't know, but when you record video, your shutter speed should be twice your frame rate. If you're recording at 25 images per second, you should have a shutter speed of 50. If you record at 60 frames per second, then your shutter speed should be 120. If it's higher, the picture will be like this, you know, because they make too many pictures. It's like shaky. If it shakes because there are too many pictures. So you have to slow your shutter speed to twice the frame rate. So the only way on an iPhone, as you cannot, and on the telephone, as you cannot change your aperture, the only way is to put sunglasses in front of it. These are my sunglasses. As you can see, it will stop the light. There are 3 filters by Sandmarc: ND4, ND8, ND16, which is 2, 3, and 4 stops. So I'm going to show you a video to see how it works. So now I'm back with the wide angle. No, I still have the wide angle, no, by Sandmarc. No ND filter, nothing. And it tells me that at 24 ISO, I'm getting a speed of 3200th of a second, which is far too high. I'm recording at 25p, 25 images per second. it means my shutter speed should be 1/50th of a second. I'm on 3200. So I put the ND4, which is 2 stops, and okay, and it tells me now I've dropped to 800th of a second, which is still far too high. I'm going to take the ND4. I put the ND8 on. One second. Okay. It tells me I am at 600th of a second. The sun went up. I'm on 600th of a second, which is still far too high. And now I'm going to go for the ND16, which is 4 stops. And it tells me I've dropped to 300th of a second, which is still far too high. I should be on 50th of a second. So I'm going to put 50th of a second. As you can see, I'm on 50th of a second, 1/50th of a second, and it's completely burned. I would need to stack several. Filter, but I think there is a big mistake in the design of Sandmarc filters, and they're not stackable. I'm going to speak about it right now. I just noticed when I was editing, this is becoming a nightmare, that when you put an ND filter, look at the bottom, right and left, the corners, it vignettes. I take it out, the wide lens from by Sandmarc. Now I put their ND filter. This is the ND16, but actually it happens with all of them. As you can see, the bottom, right and left, is vignettes. So this is a real nightmare. So this is really incredible. I mean, I had not used much the ND filters, and I'd used the polarizer, and when I checked now what the ND filter were doing on the beach, I see vignettes at the bottom on both corners. I think this is incredible. And of course, when I used it, I tested them on the Tele, and I not noticed it. I used for picture and refrained a bit. I did not use it. I didn't realize. And now I saw the video I took this morning on the beach, and I saw that. So right now I went to the terrace to check if it was like this, and it is like this. It does vignette at the bottom, right and left corners. On my iPhone 10X Max. I don't know if other case when it's differently placed or whatever it does not. I'm not sure. I don't think so. There's no reason for that, because without the filter, the lens does not vignette. So honestly, the filter system for this Cine kit and polarizer kit, there's no other word that it is crap. Don't buy this filter. You're just throwing your money in the bin. That's it. Okay, as you can see, even with the ND16, which are 4 stops, to keep the frame rate of 50, it's burnt. I would actually need 6 stops, which will be the. So I'm going to put the ND4 on. Okay, so you say, okay, with my, or I'm put the ND16. Imagine I was in this situation, add the ND16 on. I will add the ND4. I will add the ND4. This way I'll have 4 stops plus 2 stops, 6 stops. It would be okay, because I think I was at 200th of a second. It means 2 stops too many. I should be on 100th, 1/50th, which is 2 stops. Okay, so I put my second stop, and then here's the problem. As you can see, you cannot stack them. Why? Because the back thread is not the same size as the front thread. So if I want to stack them, it falls in between. So that's a real problem. So when I saw that, I contacted Sandmarc and said, they're not stackable. He said, yeah, but that's the design we made. So I did not even understand what they meant and what they wanted to do. So I thought, by the way, can I actually stack ND and polarizer? No, I cannot put the polarizer on the ND filter, and I cannot either put the ND filter on the paralyzer, neither way. So it means like just before the C video, you know, if I wanted to cut light and polarize at the same time, it's not possible. So I thought, this is really not too good. That's a bad news, because normally in many scenes you will want ND filter and also you will want the polarizer at the same time, and it's not possible. So I thought, well, Eric, think, what would you do to fix that? No problem, I'll get a step-up ring, I'll put it on the front lens, and then I use other filter I have. I will use whatever I have, ND filter and polarizer, I put them on it. So I contacted Sandmarc and said, what is the front thread size? Answer, 40.6 millimeters. This is not standard. There are no step-up ring for that. It means that I have to use Sandmarc, but they are not even compatible together within the same brand. They're not compatible, so you cannot stack Sandmarc and you cannot put any other brand. So this is really stupid. This is when I thought, well, this guy, well, what are they doing? So I understand they may want to sell only Sandmarc filters, but then what you do is a step-up ring to your size, like the 40.6 millimeter in the back. On the front you put any size, crazy size you want, but at least after you put you make all your filter the same size, and they're stackable, whether it's ND filters or polarizer. That would be logical. And if you want to sell only Sandmarc filters, then you make your size, but the system is badly thought, stupidly thought. And this is where I think who made that? Is a marketing brilliant guy had a great idea, how we're going to sell only Sandmarc filters, we're going to do this, and an engineer thought this. Sorry, but this is stupid. So I know that for the Osmo Pocket, what they've done, they have filtered that both polarizer and also ND filters. But first of all, ND 16 is not enough on an iPhone at bright light. If Sandmarc was based in Norway, I would understand they did not notice, but I think they're in California or something like that. There is bright sun there too. So what are they thinking, these guys? That makes me really mad, really angry. So the filter system is stupid, basically stupid. Seeing the problem, I sent again a message to Sandmarc. I just got an answer, and before they said it was 40.6 millimeters. Now they're telling me it's 40 millimeters, but I didn't ask for the thread of the lens. I asked what's the size of the thread of your front filter, the front part of your filters, and I asked for the ND and for the polarizer, and they just said 40 millimeter, which is not possible because it's obviously larger than the lens that it was 40.6. So obviously there's a mistake. So there are two options. Or the front lens is actually 40. It means, forget what I said, you could actually put a step-up ring 40 to 62. It's always better to have a filter a bit larger because it may vignette on these lenses or whatever. And so that would be possible if the lens front lens is actually 40. If it's the front filter, the front of their filter, I don't think it's possible, but if it was, you could actually stack a 40 millimeter diameter filter on the front of your first filter, any filter you would use. But I see it's not the same size, the polarizer and the ND filter. But actually do not buy their filter system until they find a serious solution, because this is not serious. It does not work properly. So the good thing I said about Sandmarc is that when I did the unboxing is that they have clips like this. It means like if I don't have an iPhone with a case, or I'm in a rush or whatever, I can actually put the lens on a clip and place it over the camera. Okay, good news, you can actually now, if you want a wider angle on your front lens, you can actually put it on the front lens. You have to center it properly, but you can actually put it. So up to here I thought it was great, and this is great. But then one day I was recording video and I thought, wow, there is a lot of light, I want to slow my shutter speed. So they have a second clip which is thought for the filters. So in case you don't want to put any lens on your front camera or back camera, you just want the filter because you want to slow down the shutter speed, you have a clip like this. You actually put the filter on it. This is an ND filter, but I could actually put the polarizer if I wanted to polarize. Okay, and then you can place it then over your cameras. Okay, so what I did, I place it over the front camera. I place it over the front camera like this, and I was like this, and I was recording, and I saw on the left hand side an image that was like overlay over my video. I thought, what is that? I see some stone. What is that? You know what it was? It was actually the landscape that was behind the camera. Why? Because as you see, there's a gap here. So it was really bright. The light, the image was coming through this hole, reflecting on the front lens and getting back into the front camera. So it means this is stupid. The hole is far too big. It should be about the size of the camera, of the lens, the camera lens on your iPhone, not that big hole. So, or you could have a clip, the clothing that covers more, so no light can enter it, because it creates a problem when you use this on the front lens. So this kit could be perfect, you can do everything with it, but it's just wrongly thought. The filter system is lousy, is stupid. So I'm going to try to recreate the problem I will just explain with the filter, the clip on the front camera, with the hole being too big. So now I haven't put the clip, now I'm going to put the clip with an AD8, okay? I place it, okay? And now I put my hand behind the camera. As you can see, you see my fingers? It actually reflects, okay? Because it comes through the hole. If I place it far like this, it covers the camera. If I place it like this, you can see. So if I actually move, you can see like down here, like an overlay of the landscape behind. So this is a serious design flaw. I said this is another stupidity. Sorry. So lenses. So what is my conclusion is, if you're going to use filter one by one, you won't even notice it. If you don't need to mix polarizer and ND filter, that's fine, okay? If you need to mix them, forget it. If you need to stack, forget them. So actually these lenses are great for photography. They're okay for indoor or low light or cloudy day video. Bright video, forget it. If you want to do cinematic at 24p, forget about it if it's a bit sunny, or you'll have to set something. So this is why I say, why guys, have you looked at what Moment is doing? Moment, what they've done is a system. You put like a filter holder that goes on the lens, have different size filter holder. You go even a square one for the anamorphic, and then you can screw on standard filters. If you don't want to open the market to standard filters, make your own thread, but at least your filter must be compatible between them. I think Moment ID is a better solution. So what are Sandmarc thinking about? They need to urgently create their own step-up ring and a new set of filters. But for me, I think I thrown my money in the bin regarding filters. If I want to do cine look, it's impossible. In daytime, it's impossible. You can always stick something with gaffer tape or something like this, but the idea was not that. The idea is I would have the perfect thing that would work easy to use, quick, fast, secure, safe, and nothing to worry about, nothing to make like a do-it-yourself. So it would have been better that I would not buy the filters and find a way of making a system to put on other filters, standard filters. So I think the way they thought that is really stupid. Sorry for being hard, but I think a company has no right to make error that big. no right. It means that people who thought about this don't even use it, because if you use it for 5 minutes you realize what the problem is. And I think Sandmarc, they've been really stupid on this one. Sorry to insult or to lack of respect, but I think you lack of respect when you sell this to me when it's not, it cannot be used as they say. They say it's a cinema kit. What cinema kit? If you cannot make cinema in bright light, it's impossible. So you cannot combine polarizer and AD filter. So what kit is that? This is stupid, stupid. Well, I'm angry. So okay, well that's it. So do I recommend Sandmarc? Well, I'd say if you don't need filters, yes. If you need filters, no, run away. Go for a moment, and if it's too expensive, well, wait. And I think there's another company also. I'll try to test them, but I'll use my Sandmarc lenses for indoor and for normal take. For slow motion, where you don't need to cut so much light, but outdoor it really limits, and that's a real problem. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's a button down there, a small bell. If you click on it, you will get notified when I upload a new video. And my website, ericgimbal.com. If you have any comment, leave it below or send me an email to info@ericgimbal.com. Below in the description I've put a list of other parts of my channel, and also links to all my gear, and you can, if you're interested, you can get them on Amazon UK or Amazon US. If you do this way, I get a small commission, and I thank you for it. It costs you the same price. Thank you very much. Bye.